Danny Glover, Tom Morello. We're all here today at City Hall. Were you? This is day 8 of Occupy LA, and you're watching Inside Out News.
As I was walking, I saw a sign there, and that sign said, "No trespassing." But on the other side, it didn't say nothing. That sign was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me.
Today was the big music festival here at Occupy LA in downtown Los Angeles at City Hall. The organizers had a jam-packed event that started at 12 p.m. and went into the early evening. The music festival included local bands, local activist musicians, and highlighted some of the performers who are part of the occupation here in Los Angeles. Danny Glover came out today in support of the protesters. He gave a speech, he had his family on stage and some members of the community. Here is a highlight from what he had to say to the protesters.
Figuring that they had some chance to change, some real chance for hope. We were fooled. We know that right now, they're listening to you right now. They see that business will not happen as usual. We cannot have business happen as usual. You understand that? So we have to stand up. We have to stand up as our brothers and sisters have stood up in Haiti. We have to stand up as our brothers and sisters have stood up in other places. We have to stand up in Tahrir Square, wherever it's in Egypt, wherever they stood up. We have to stand up with them. And knowing that we're part of that same voice that's happening with men and women on the streets of Greece, in Spain, and other places. We're part of that voice. And we will not accept anything less than a change, a real change, a change to the future. We have to stand up for not only who we are right now and where we are right now, but we have to stand up for the future of our children and the future of the world.
The music festival brought in about 2,000 protesters to the rally. And there are more tents today than there were when I last counted them on Tuesday. I counted 71 tents. The tents are now both on the north lawn and on the south lawn. There has to be close to 200 tents here now. Again, as I said in my previous reports, it seems that the movement here in Los Angeles is continuing to grow. I've yet to see a decrease in the number of tents here. Shepard Fairey was also among the notable guests here today at Occupy LA. And the protesters had a special treat. Tom Morello performed several of his songs for the protesters, including Rebel Song, the song he premiered at the Wisconsin protests earlier this year. I had a special opportunity to sit down with Tom Morello for an interview, and we'd like to play that for you now. Here's what he had to say. My question is in regard to the legitimacy of bringing celebrities out to these type of demonstrations. There's been some criticism in the media that it delegitimizes the movement because they don't actually belong to the working class. What is your opinion on this?
First of all, I mean, you say celebrities like plague carriers or something like that, which is I'm sorry. You can just hold it a little lower. Yeah. You say celebrities as if you were saying plague carriers. First of all, I mean, I think that it's an odd ghettoization of, like, because I play guitar, because I'm in a rock band that has sold records, does that mean that I don't have a First Amendment right? I mean, that's an argument often brought up by the right to silence dissent of people who have access to the media who disagree with their policies. I'm not someone who is here today to speak for celebrities. I don't consider myself a celebrity. I'm from a small town in Illinois, and I play guitar. I live in Los Angeles, so I came to occupy Los Angeles. If someone else lives in Los Angeles, whether they're a baker, whether they're a homeless person, or whether they're on Entertainment Tonight, I think they have a right to be here. there's already been some sort of change in that there's been, Occupy, fill in the name of your city, happening right and left. How long does that have to go on before we achieve state power? I'm not quite sure.
The other day, President Obama, he came out and he essentially said that he understood the frustrations of the protesters, but that he ultimately supports the financial sector. Do you have a message for the president or a response into this, or what's your feeling of what he said?
Why would anyone be surprised that he supports the financial sector? I mean, that's how you get elected. You don't get elected by supporting, you don't get elected by supporting people who put up tents around Wall Street. You get selected for president by supporting people who own banks.
Okay, one last question. Cornel West was out here also a few days ago, and he said that the media has been reporting that this movement is like the Tea Party. Would you say that this movement is similar to the Tea Party, or it's totally different, or there's similarities?
I think this movement is figuring out what it is. I don't think that I wouldn't narrow it in, and I'm not sure what it is. I mean, I looked out there today, and the thing I like about this movement is everyone who's in the bottom 99% is welcome, and that's casting the nets pretty wide, and we'll see what it becomes. But I have a lot of hope for it.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks very much. Thanks.
Thank you.
Cheers.
The Occupy LA media team had confirmed reports that Anderson Cooper of Anderson 360 on CNN and Keith Olbermann of Countdown on Current TV, that they were going to be here at the occupation to film the protesters and possibly address them. The reports were confirmed by the PR people here. However, neither of them showed up tonight. There is no word as to why neither of them showed up. If they do show up later tonight, or tomorrow, or the next day, we will do our best to be here to cover them. Tomorrow there will be a special bike tour through the city that plans to stop by at the occupation. The bike tour begins at 10 a.m. It is put on by an organization called Cyclavia. It's CICLAVIA. They are planning to come by and say hello to the protesters tomorrow. Tomorrow, Inside Out News will be taking the day off. However, if there is any reports that either Anderson Cooper or Keith Olbermann show up tomorrow, we will certainly come down to cover that. But there is no plans for a report tomorrow from Inside Out News. It will be my day off. I've been covering the occupation day in and day out since the first day of the occupation on October 1st. As you can imagine, I haven't gotten a lot of sleep in the last few days, and I'm a little tired, so I'm going to take advantage of Sunday. Not a lot is going on here at City Hall, and I will sleep in and recuperate and be healthy for Monday morning, in which I will return to cover Day 10 of Occupy LA. I wanted to take a quick moment to address something that I feel is very important for journalism, the internet, and for movements such as Occupy LA, Occupy Wall Street, and that is net neutrality. If you have not heard much about net neutrality, I would suggest looking it up on the internet. Net neutrality is a belief in the freedom of the internet. There are many corporations, especially cable internet providers, who would like to restrict access to what is on the internet. They would like to see the internet turned into a one-way medium in which they control what you see and when you see it. Very similar to what has happened to television and radio. If you enjoy this broadcast, if you enjoy the live streams that you get from the various occupations across the country, then you should make it your goal to contact your congressperson and let them know that you care about net neutrality. Because if certain corporations are allowed to lobby Congress people successfully for laws that will benefit them, I can guarantee that programs like Inside Out News will not have a place on the internet anymore. That social media will not be what it is today, and movements like this will not have a voice a medium to contact other people across the country and around the world to get their message out. So please research net neutrality and contact your congressperson, your local legislator, and let them know that you care about free speech on the internet and that the internet should remain a platform for people, for anyone who wants to share their message with the world. That sums up our broadcast for tonight. I hope to see you again on Monday. This is Margot Paez signing off for Inside Out News. Good night.
From Wall Street to Los Angeles, in every mine and mill, wherever workers defend their rights, it's there you'll find Joe Hill. It's there you'll find Joe Hill. I dreamed I saw Joe Hill last night, alive as you and me. Says I, but Joe, you're 10 years dead. I never died, said he. I never died.